Why is my spiritual practice not giving any results? I'm doing all these meditations, all these techniques given by this guru, and I've been to India to this ashram, yet nothing is happening. What should I do? The village that I live in, Himachal Pradesh, is very quiet, and I live in a house in the outskirts. So when one goes out at night and it's a clear sky, one can see the Milky Way. It's all star studded and a lot of asteroids and a lot of action happening in the sky. One can just sit there and watch the film in a very soft light. But when there is a wedding in the village, there is a lot of lighting. One goes out, one can see nothing. And even when one walks a bit further from the lights, it takes a bit of time to see the Milky Way. It takes a bit of time for the eyes to adjust to see the sky as it is, because the light in the sky is very soft and the lights around are very harsh. Something similar happens in the spiritual practice. When you are meditating, provided that you have understood meditation in the right way, it takes a bit of time for your mind to interpret what is happening, for you to understand the taste of joy again. Because all this while you are used to so many sensations, so many harsh lights of pleasure and sensations, that now when you are all by yourself, you feel something is missing. But now the question is, are you understanding meditation or spirituality in the right way? Because if you are just doing a technique which some guru has provided for you and said that this will bring transformation, it is not going to happen. Because any technique that you do, it's your mind who is doing it. The mind is still in action. Your conscious is in action. And the real transformation happens in the subconscious. The conscious is just 10%. 90% is your subconscious. So many desires, so many fears, so many fantasies, so many ambitions. You want to experience so much. And with all that, if you are trying to sit and meditate, it's not going to happen. So your conscious will do an effort, a technique for some time, and it will be able to control the flow of thoughts for some time. But the moment you have stopped your efforts to control, again your subconscious is going to gush forward. It wants to be expressed. It wants to live. That's what you are here for. So when you are meditating, it's not about doing a technique. It's not about being occupied. It's more about coming back to your presence, to your quietness, to your still self, which is undescribable, to what reality is, to what the source is. So you are rested in the source, which is your natural state. And suddenly a thought comes, a desire comes, and your mind starts to follow it. Some anger comes, some fear comes out of your belief system, and you start to follow it. You start to rationalize. And now you have lost your presence. So your quietness does not get the depth it requires. The depth comes only when your subconscious is all emptied out. That is what will give depth to your meditation. So there are two ways you can do it. One is to let things arrive and let things subside, and the source abides. But in my understanding, there are some things that need to be experienced in life. Otherwise, they keep on nagging at you. So the things which are deep-seated desires inside of you, which you have come here to experience, to play this divine game of Leela, you experience them, you express them, you live them out. But you live them out as a student who is learning. You learn out of it. You learn their nature when you experience something. You learn their transitoriness. You see that they are very ephemeral, just passing by. You just see their nature and live them out. See the beauty of it. The more you live out these innocent desires, they don't come back at you. If you are living them out as a student, you are paying attention to them, you're learning from them. And this is how you empty out your subconscious. So I spoke of two ways where one can empty out their subconscious so that you can abide in the source. And even after that, you will feel a certain emptiness inside of you. And your mind will interpret it negatively because it is used to derive pleasure from outside. So that is your transition time, your dark night of the soul. So I don't know if you have been understanding meditation properly. Even what I am saying to you, I don't want you to trust you for what it is. If it makes sense to you, then one can go deeper in that. It's just like a gardener doing gardening. They sow the seeds, they water it, they take care that it is not harmed. They take care of it from the stormy weather. But they don't dig it every day to check if the flower is coming, if the seed is sprouting. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. But the day things sprout, they grow, and the day flowers arrive, fruits arrive, the gardener, if you have ever done gardening in your life, you will know that there is no space to even walk. It's growing everywhere. And then suddenly you have no time to take all the fruits. And you have so many fruits and no place to store it, you start giving them to others. You start sharing. That is the sharing of love. That is the affluence of ananda, of your being, of your happiness. Something similar happens inside of you. When all the withdrawal symptoms of the sensations, of the harsh lights, the pleasures, the for and the against, all that is gone. And you are joyous in your own nature. You're peaceful. The flower of peace, the fruits of joy are coming. Then you want to share them. And that is love. Then you see yourself in everything and everybody and you want to share with them. But for that, one has to understand meditation in the right way, spirituality in the right way, the nature of self. Now the next challenge that comes is, apart from understanding and apart from living it every day, apart from coming back to your natural state, the next challenge is that you will feel very lonely in this. Somehow, the more you have desires, the more you see the world outside of you. And this is true non-attachment. That when your thoughts are arising, when your emotions are arising, and you still stay in your natural state, you don't get attached to them. You come back to your natural state. Slowly it deepens. This is true non-attachment. This is true realization that you are free. Then things come to you, no matter what is thrown at you. First, you get overwhelmed. Oh, this is also there in me. This is there in me. This needs to be expressed. But slowly you start to realize nothing actually can harm you. You are beyond everything. And that is the realization of your freedom. But before that, you face a challenge. The challenge is not from outside. The challenge is from inside. That you start to feel very lonely. When you have intense desire for the things of the world, you feel a lot is there in this world to achieve, to know. But slowly as you start to understand the nature of things of this world, the desire seems to get lesser. And when this desire becomes weaker and you are going back to your natural state, in the process you feel very lonely. Because when you are quiet, you are also not in your belief systems. To sustain a belief system, you have to every day tell it, it is true. Yes, there is life after death. Yes, there is reincarnation. Yes, there is a heaven and a hell, and you're going to be in safety. Your mind is like a child that you have to keep on feeding. Only then it sustains. But when you are in your natural state, you begin to feel lonely because there is no sustenance to your mind. You begin to feel afraid. And this is the main challenge which a true seeker faces, the challenge of standing alone with your true nature, to stand by truth. Truth which is not relative, but the absolute truth of your being. And slowly, this loneliness gets transformed into freedom, into pure aloneness of yourself, which is everywhere, so you don't feel lonely. Wherever you look, it's yourself. When you are faced with this challenge of loneliness, you don't have to fight with it. You just have to understand that now your mind is being starved of all the things that it was holding on to. And now it is going into something unknown. It cannot interpret nothingness. The mind, the nature of the mind is such that it cannot understand nothingness. Even nothingness it understands as a thing, as an absence. But this nature of nothingness can only be lived. It is indescribable. It is your natural state. So when you first understand right meditation, the coming back to your natural state, to not getting attached to every passing thought, and when you go through this phase of loneliness because you're all alone without any beliefs, there comes a time where you feel one with everything. Now you do not need any belief to realize the timelessness of your being. Now you do not require any confirmation that you're not alone, that your nature, your true nature, is beyond all these dualities of togetherness and loneliness and so on. There is something indescribable that your being is. There is just a certain time till which you have to go through this. Then it takes its own momentum. Then it guides you. You have your own compass inside of you. But in the beginning, you will feel the withdrawal of all the sensations. But all those who have tasted the peace and the bliss of their being will call to you that there is this possibility. You take it as a hypothesis and just keep walking. What will help is to have certain people around you who love truth. Not just a belief system, but who are in love with learning. Then you will learn more. Then you will start growing into yourself very easily, very simply.